Hi everyone, my name is Rohan Mehta and I have been working with Ministry of External Affairs India since 8 years. Last month, some of my tweets got viral in which I had exposed corruption and sexual harassment cases in Ministry of External Affairs. In this video, I am going to tell you about how I got to know about these cases, my whole story, and I am also going to tell you how I learned that S. Jaishankar is corrupt and he is not loyal to India and neither he is loyal to Prime Minister Modi. So, as I said, I have been working with Ministry of External for 8 years. I also worked in Embassy of India, Moscow from 2019 to 2022. During this period, COVID had also occurred, and due to that reason, we had to assist students during for their evacuation. So my name was also in the helpline numbers. I had talked to many students and also many parents during this period of time. I know many students and parents will remember me. I have a WhatsApp group also confirming that I had assisted students during this time. While all this was happening, at this time also there were some employees who had gotten their names removed from helpline because they needed to sleep properly. They did not care what is going on. They just needed to sleep. After this, I worked in Consulate General of India, Sao Paulo for 1 year, 3 months. During this period, I had complained about corruption for the first time. So, when I had joined Sao Paulo, I noticed that the head Consul General, Manisha Swami, she used to harass all employees. She had one modus operandi. She used to come to office in the morning. She used to shout at all employees in the morning. She was misusing all the resources, and then within half an hour or something, she used to again shout and harass employees and then leave office. And then during the end of the day, she used to return, like for last half an hour, she used to return some days, and some days she never even returned. So this is how she spent 3 years in Sao Paulo, while she was earning almost $7,000 or $8,000 of public money per month. Apart from this, there was another employee, Adarsh Mishra, who was sexually harassing Brazilian women, who made many inappropriate comments on several of them, and who was also not doing any work. Apart from these, there are 3 other employees, Harish Baksla, Gayatri Gosai and Suraj Bhuman. So now I'm going to tell you how it all happened. There is actually one recording which I'm going to share here with, which will prove that Manisha Swami was indeed harassing all employees, including Gayatri Gosai, Harish Baksla and Suraj Bhuman. They are talking about this, that they were also facing harassment from Manisha Swami. She is not talking about Adarsh Mishra. The reason she never took any action against Adarsh Mishra is very simple, because despite all complaints against Adarsh Mishra, there was actually in the same recording which I have referenced just a moment before. In this recording, Gayatri Gosai also refers to a complaint which she had made against Adarsh Mishra. This was an actual complaint which she had made, but Manisha Swami had taken no action against this complaint, and she had told that you will not work with him, so you don't need to worry about, so forget about it. The reason she had not complained against Adarsh Mishra was very simple, because she herself was not doing any kind of work, and she needed inefficient employees like Adarsh Mishra, so that when everything breaks down, in that instance, questions are asked from the head, like what you were doing. In that moment, what her plan was, that she was going to say, "Sir, I was managing with these kinds of employees, it was so difficult for me." This is the reason she was taking no action at all. Now, what happened was, she was also prodding and pushing Gayatri Gosai to continuously harass me, to continuously give me memorandums unnecessarily. Eventually, Gayatri Gosai did indeed write against me for no reason at all. I'm going to attach the document regarding this also. She wrote regarding me. She wrote that I was not doing work properly, and she has provided and she gave totally illogical reasons, because I was doing all the work. All the work which she mentioned I was not doing, I was doing it. So I gave a reply, I gave a response, and in my response I wrote that all these works which you have mentioned, I have been doing. Apart from that, I also wrote 3 more things. I wrote that neither Gayatri Gosai nor anyone else speaks Portuguese, only I do, through which I also help and assist people and also do my work well. I also wrote that they have been trying to belittle me, calling my by calling my MBA background. I'm a dropout of MDI Gurgaon. I did not complete MBA. I was there, but I dropped out. But they used to belittle me over this. So I had actually written that if you think it is so simple, then perhaps you might also take CAT. And I had also written that she lacks networking skills because because I am the one who is speaking very highly and very positively about her to local Brazilian employees and also amongst Brazilian Indians, and this is something which can be verified. Subsequent to this reply of mine, Manisha Swami called me to her office. Manisha Swami was aware because I had talked to these 3 employees before who were also facing harassment that I am recording. I had said to them that I am recording while these things are happening. I had not shown them any of the recordings though. So she called me after this reply. 3 people were there in the room: Manisha Swami, Suraj Mohan and Gayatri Gosai. So I entered the room and she told me that Rohan, please keep your phone outside. So I went outside, left my phone and I came back. Then she told me, Rohan, you actually gave a written reply. So Gayatri Gosai is invoking sexual harassment against you. Sexual harassment complaint, making a sexual harassment complaint against you. Can you give a reply by 5 p.m. today? My response to her was, ma'am, you have not provided me any document. To what should I reply? She was actually like surprised because she was actually expecting that I would be scared. Because she is trying to threaten me. But why would I be scared when I have not done anything? I have never even spoken any wrong about any woman in my life. Why would I be scared? So when I gave this response, she said to me that, oh no, you can give your reply by day after tomorrow also. It's all right. I told her that please give me whatever you want to give me in writing. I'll give a reply today only. And I immediately gave a written reply when they gave me the document in which they had written only these 3 things which I mentioned, that Rohan is saying Gayatri cannot speak Portuguese, cannot take CAT and has no networking skills. That's why sexual harassment complaint. There was no sexual harassment. I have never treated Gayatri Gosai in any wrong way. I have treated her respectfully and that is how it happened. The complaint and the copy of the same is attached herewith. After this also, Ms. Gayatri Gosai also used, she wrote actually lots of lies on paper. I had actually seen that paper also, and they had given me another document based on that. I'm attaching a copy of that document also, wherein I had to write that you guys are trying to create a fake sexual harassment case against me, and due to fake sexual harassment cases, there have been cases of suicide. You are trying to create mental pressure on me unnecessarily. There is a case which I mentioned which was of a kid named Manav, and a copy of this document is also there. These cases can be searched easily. Once I had replied to this, during this period of time, one more thing used to happen. So Harish Baksla also used to come to the room and he used to tell me, Rohan, Gayatri is saying that this is going to go all the way and everything. And I used to reply like, what all the way and what everything are you talking about? I've not done anything. What nonsense are you talking about? The reason why he used to do this, why all this was being done, was to suppress me. Either I get suppressed or I perhaps commit suicide. Basically, I never gathered courage to complain against Manisha Swami. That was the reason why all this was being done. So, as they kept harassing me repetitively, I eventually made a complaint on 5 January 2024. On 5 January 2024, I complained. 6th and 7th were holiday. On 8 January 2024, when I came to office, they had closed the doors of office and they told me that my return flight has been booked and I have been called back to India. First, I was surprised because I was the one who had complained and I was the one who was doing work. These people were not doing anything and I was being recalled. Regardless, I realized that I could not travel because I had not taken yellow fever vaccine. And it is mandatory to take yellow fever vaccine when you return from a country where yellow fever exists. So I informed them that I had not taken yellow fever vaccine and I cannot travel and therefore I cannot travel. So they may kindly allow me to take the vaccine and then I can leave and they can book the ticket after 10 days once the vaccine becomes effective. But Harish Baksla gave me an exemption certificate and that exemption certificate also is over here. I'm going to attach a copy of this exemption certificate over here. This exemption certificate was basically a safety hazard. It was a safety hazard because in case I would have contracted yellow fever the same disease could have become prevalent in India also. Only on the basis of this exemption certificate, Harish Baksla should have been fired by now. But till now, no action has been taken against him. I returned back to India and I talked to Director ADP, Yatin Patel. I asked him, can you please tell me what action has been taken against the complaint which I made? He told me no action has been taken against your complaint and forget about that complaint. You stay here, you stay for 2 years and then you leave. The day I was actually returning, I wanted to make everything public that day only, honestly speaking. But my fiance and another Indian in Brazil, his name is Vipin, he had told me, Rohan, do not complain against these guys because you are waiting for your marriage approval and they'll start creating problems in your personal life and everything else. Looking back at everything, I would have made everything public then only, but looking back at everything now, I think if I would have made everything public, I would have never gotten to know that S. Jaishankar is corrupt, which is something I'll get to by the end of this video. So, I returned, this happened, and then they told me like no action will be taken. Within 1 month, in February, they gave me a document opening a fake case against me, saying that my fiance was living with me in Brazil. The truth is my fiance was not living with me in Brazil, and I had proof of that also. They were doing this only because I had complained against their colleague civil servant Manisha Swami. So I immediately gave a reply that my fiance was not living with me. I immediately gave a reply, and the same reply I also wrote that I was facing harassment and I submitted a corruption complaint to vigilance section also. But they did nothing. I gave this reply in February. Whole February they did nothing. March they did nothing. In April they eventually called me. They called me to their section and they asked me that they wanted to talk to me. So before entering their section, I turned on recording and I entered the section. In that recording, there is a person named Kaushal. He is a section officer. He tells me that Rohan, generally action is taken against people who complained against senior officers. Not against the corrupt officers, but against the person who is complaining against the corrupt officer. And this is there in the recording. And by the way, this guy also lies to me because he was trying to set me up to accept something which they had planned, which they wanted me to. He tells me that they had also tried to stop my promotion, and Kaushal had done something specifically so that it is not stopped. But the reality is this: my promotion and everything process had already finished before the stake case was started. When I moved in the same recording, when I go to the next room and I talk to Under Secretary Monica Agarwal, she actually tries to tell me and she forces repetitively, and she tries to tell me that we are unbiased, we have nothing against you, Rohan, you are a young dynamic individual, you have a long career, we have all recordings, your landlady has written and everything. The fact is, my fiance was not living with me and my landlady knew about it and she had written to me about that. So they were basically trying to set me up. They wanted me to write because they were trying to harass me. They were actually also withholding my marriage application. My marriage application, you need marriage approval if you are marrying a foreigner. For instance, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, he is married to a foreign national. So you need an approval from the ministry. In case of Brazil, what happens is, for approval you need security clearance. So security clearance is easy to get for Brazilian citizens. Why? Because like we have Aadhaar card, Brazilians have CPF number, and they have a website on which if you enter this CPF number, it immediately provides you information if in case there is something adverse against that individual, and if not, then there is a clear report. That report had come while I was in Sao Paulo. It had happened immediately then. So by the time when I had returned in January, all security clearance had been done. But Bivanlal Bhavna started withholding my marriage application, saying that there is a vigilance case going on against me. Although this vigilance case is a totally separate thing and it had nothing to do with my marriage application. What he was doing was basically, he was trying to intervene into my personal life because I had complained against their colleague. another civil servant, Manisha Swami. So after all this happened and all this recording which I talked about with vigilance section, which is also there, this happened in April, and after April, although this lady, Monica Agarwal, had told me that they have all the proofs, they have everything in this, but by the end of that recording, I had actually shown the proof to this guy Kaushal, and he had asked me to provide that proof to him, but I told him that I'll give it to you when you give me a written reply. They gave me no written reply, nothing. This happened in April. I kept requesting, I kept waiting for my marriage approval because my fiance was traveling from another country which is on the other side of the world. April, May, June, July, nothing. I did not receive my marriage approval. Eventually in July, I wrote to Central Vigilance Commission, I wrote to External Affairs Minister, I wrote to 2 other ministers, and I actually named Bimal Lal Bhavna that he is withholding my marriage application. I actually wrote everything what I had been facing, and I am attaching a copy of this complaint also here, so anyone can read this. After this complaint in July, in August now finally, because I had named Bimal Lal Bhavna, now my marriage approval came. Now it came because obviously their names have started to come out. Then what happened was Puneet Agarwal, who is the head of vigilance, he gave me regarding that fake case which they had opened against me, that my fiance supposedly, according to them, was living with me, for which they had all proofs. He gave me a written reply actually, which was a very stupid reply, and the reply is right over here with me. I'll pick that up and I'll actually read it from here. So this is the reply actually. It was a very stupid document. They wrote in this document that it had been brought to their notice that my fiance was living with me in Brazil. Then they write that I informed that my fiance was not residing with me. And now after this they write, now notice the language. They wrote that after examination it was found that I had managed access to my fiance and her car in my condominium. I wanted to ask you guys one question. When a guest comes to visit you, do you provide them access or do you manage access? Are you allowing your guest to enter your building or are you allowing a criminal? Why was this word manage used? This was used purposefully by them because they had actually nothing. I had provided access because when my fiance is going to come to meet me, I'm going to allow her to come inside the building. I'm not going to say like, please you stand outside or please leave your car outside. I don't know what kind of stupidity these guys wanted to convey through this message. And after this, they have written that she used to visit me from June 2023 to January 2024, which is obviously she is going to be visiting me. We did not decide to get married like randomly. We got to know each other for some time. I met her, she used to meet me. That's how we decided. It's not something which happened like in one go. So, and after that, this is what has been written. It has been decided to issue a recordable warning to me. Recordable warning for what? That my fiance used to visit me? There was no ground or no reason, any reason for recordable warning, but this was given to me. I will tell you, I'll get back to this, why it was given. After this, along with this, my APR had come. It had been given annual performance report, which was given by Gayatri Gosai. She had reduced it to as much as she could reduce it, and she had also written a integrity note, a separate integrity note about me. So basically, now I will tell you, since my posts have become viral, some people had asked me, why did you complain actually? Why did you complain? So let me give you the brief why I complained. You all remember that they had tried to make a fake sexual harassment complaint against me. So let me be brief about it. This case was sent to headquarters, but it was never opened. It happened because of 2 reasons. One, because the people in headquarters saw that this is clearly a fake case and it is being like unnecessary, they are trying to set me up. Or second, they also asked the person who had filed the case, basically Gayatri Gosai. So she was aware that if you file a fake case, action can be taken against you, or maybe she, out of shame, she actually backed off. One of these reasons. This case never opened in the first place, but there was a case which was filed. Second, I was recalled. I was recalled from Brazil, although it was done in a wrong manner, but I was recalled. If in case my tweets would not have gone viral, none of you would be knowing it. So, third is that Puneet Agarwal gave me a recordable warning. This is one thing which happened. And fourth is Gayatri Gosai gave an integrity note against me, doubting my integrity, putting doubts on my integrity. So let me tell you what would have happened if I would have not made any of these things public. There was a clear-cut plan basically. If none of you guys know about any of this, there was a clear-cut plan that this guy is not even speaking against any of these things. That implies that he did all of the wrong things and everything. He indulged in many wrong acts, and therefore now they can create many other things against me, and they can spoil my career totally. This was the plan. This was their plan, that basically you have complained against a civil servant. Now we are going to show you who we are. So after this, I eventually made first FB post on Facebook with all the recordings and all the proofs. They thought I do not have any of these proofs, but I had all of these proofs and I posted them online. There are many proofs and they are clearly like indicating what actually happened. So after this post, actually a former employee contacted me and he informed me about some other corruption cases. He informed me about corruption by Suresh Reddy. He informed me about corruption by Suresh Reddy while he was in Baghdad in 2018, and he told me that he had changed the embassy building and increased the rent 4 times. But this he said orally only. So second, he also informed me, and now I am taking the name of the place. He also informed me that 22 years ago there was a rape case in Istanbul, and the ambassador had raped the maid. And the thing is this, that this lady is still working. I'm going to also attach the WhatsApp messages of this person who had informed me all these things here. Apart from this, after I got to know about this information, I made another video on Instagram on 16th September. In this video, I provided all this information which I just told you, this information also. After this video got published, another ministry's former employee, he created an Instagram ID and he sent me a video of Adarsh Mishra physically assaulting his wife while he was working in Embassy of India, Cambodia. And that video is also now in public domain. This video was actually recorded in the place where he was staying in Cambodia, in the lift, and it was sent to embassy. This employee had recorded this video and he sent this video to me and he deleted that account. This video is also online, but no action has been taken against this employee. By the way, after this video, there is one more thing which happened, which now I am going to reveal. This is my video actually. This is something I wanted to reveal about B. Vanlal Bhavna. This is the video you can see. So here is the video. Now you notice one thing over here. These are the likes. You can all access it also. If you click over here, you will notice who has liked my video. No embassy or consulate account should have technically liked my video, but if I click here and if I click here, so you notice there is an account, Embassy of India Baku, who has actually liked my video. Now the fun thing happened when I clicked on this. You notice who this person is? This is B. Vanlal Bhavna, and I will tell you why this account liked my video now. So generally what happens is these Instagram profiles are being handed over to local employees. So some local employee has seen this video and she has liked it. 99% I know who this local employee is, and I am even attaching a photo of this employee along with B. Vanlal Bhavna while she was interpreting while he was in Baku. Most probably this guy has harassed this employee. That is the reason she liked this video. But regardless, nothing has happened. No action has been taken. Apart from this, after these videos got viral, I also got to know about one more case. This happened in Bangladesh. In 2015, a minor was raped and murdered by 3 employees of Indian High Commission. Her body was dropped in the official vehicle of Indian High Commission outside. That case has gone in Bangladesh courts, if cross-referencing is going to be done, lots of details are going to come out regarding this case, but nothing has been done. So apart from this, now getting back to the Baghdad case, which I had gotten to know. In the Baghdad case, that personnel had told me that the price was increased 4 times. But this is something he had informed me like verbally only. So that's not a proof. So I filed an RTI. While I filed the RTI, I was expecting that they will not provide me any official reply. They will probably reply that due to security reasons, we cannot provide you the details. But fortunately, there was someone honest who was working in Bangladesh, and I got the RTI reply. The rent was not increased 4 times. It was actually increased 7 times, from $2,916 to $20,800 per month in 2013. I do not need to say anything. You can yourself understand this. What special things happened, or what special building they took with special AI technology, special security, that the rent increased 7 times. The thing is this, they want to actually convey right now also to me that there are some reasons due to which rent was increased, although they have not mentioned any of the reasons which they have given me here in all of this. So after all of this had happened, after my Instagram posts also went viral, despite all these proofs, instead of taking action against any of these people, they suspended me. So after all this happened, I tried to go directly to BJP's office. I went to their office. I talked to the personnel responsible for External Affairs Ministry. I asked him, I informed him of all of this, and I asked him, like, can you help? He told me that he cannot help me. I need to go to a court, which was actually weird, despite the fact that it is written on websites. On many websites it is written about anti-corruption and everything else, but while the cases of corruption are clear, he told me that I have to go to court and they can do nothing. Then I also contacted Pawan Khera from Congress. He has read my messages, he saw my messages, but he did nothing. I also contacted Mr. Shashi Tharoor. His nephew knows me personally. He forwarded my messages to Mr. Shashi Tharoor also, but he did nothing. Actually, nothing. Mr. Shashi Tharoor has gone on stage and he has spoken about basically saying that beta padhao, beti bachao, basically meaning educate the boy and save the girl. But when there are people like me who come out with clear cases of corruption, which is clearly evident, they stay silent. He did nothing. So after all of this was going on, I was meeting many people trying to get help. I was also tweeting. Eventually on 13 January 2025, my tweets got viral. Once my tweets got viral, after this, I learned that S. Jaishankar is also corrupt. And this is how I learned about that. After my tweets got viral, a page, Khur page, this is the name of that Twitter account. A person from this page contacted me. I informed them about a corruption case which had gotten printed in media also. This corruption case is of Renu Paul. If you search Renu Paul corruption, you will find details about it. She had basically rented an apartment for 15 lakhs per month while she was in Austria. And she had also indulged in financial irregularities to the tune of crores. And she was called back. So while she was called back, I actually provided this information to this person. They made a post on this, and while they made a post, they also found out some additional information. In that post, there is another article which mentions that this lady was recalled, but after she was recalled, immediately after 1 month, she was promoted and she was given a special department, which the name of the department was Nest. And whose brainchild this department was? None other than S. Jaishankar. So basically, S. Jaishankar said, "Madam, don't worry. All this thing has come out. It does not matter. Public is not going to care about this in a few days. I have created a new special department for you. You go there, you work there. Nobody is going to question or anything like that." Now, apart from this, I'm also posting here another video of another interview which S. Jaishankar did with ANI. In this video, you will notice that he talks very highly of Prime Minister. He talks very highly of Prime Minister Modi. So based on this, you would presume that he is very loyal to Prime Minister Modi. But recently, S. Jaishankar had gone to presidential ceremony of President Trump. While all this was happening, S. Jaishankar was very well aware that the discussions have been going on in India that our Prime Minister has not been invited. So, assuming that he is loyal to India, or assuming that he is more loyal to Prime Minister Modi, as he tries to say, he could have politely declined the invitation. He could have written back that I am glad for the invitation, but unfortunately, as my country's Prime Minister has not been invited, I will not be able to accept the invitation. But no, that's not what he did. Because of what? Because the money is public expenditure. Come on. He's getting to travel on public expenditure. He's getting to enjoy on public expenditure. And moreover, he's making a special video on himself. The link to that video is also something I'm providing here. You can see that video. If our country's Prime Minister would have attended the presidential ceremony and a video like that would have been made, it would have perhaps made sense. But what does this video signify apart from this video being a PR for S. Jaishankar and nothing else? Moreover, in the same interview, you can actually notice one thing. Although Mr. S. Jaishankar is a senior diplomat and supposedly a seasoned diplomat also, but you would notice very easily that he uses a phrase which is, he uses a phrase very commonly, which is, you know. It's a very funny thing that a seasoned diplomat from whom you would expect a massive vocabulary, resorting to a common phrase of a 10-year-old child, you know. Basically what he is doing is trying to pontificate and force his opinion on others, that you actually do not know, I am telling you this. There is another interview of S. Jaishankar which I am actually attaching here with another journalist. In this interview, S. Jaishankar talks that he has to think about all the Indians and everything while buying petrol, so that petrol is purchased at lower prices for Indians. But I don't think I need to give you any more details. Petrol was indeed purchased from Russia for lower prices, but it has not been provided at lower prices to Indians. So this is basically a random marketing gimmick. In the same interview, he also talks about one more thing. He says in this interview that a spade should be called a spade, and terrorism is something which should be called out where it is so, or wrong acts should be called out. But the thing is this, I wanted to ask, what is this going on in Ministry of External Affairs, which I have been facing for last 1 year, because I complained against a corrupt officer. It is not terrorism. They are trying to go after me with full force and everything else, despite very clear proofs. Okay, anyways, I'll also tell you one more thing actually. Since he talked about calling a spade a spade, this is regarding some comments made by UN Resident Coordinator in 2020. UN Resident Coordinator had made some comments about increasing violence against women, and such activities should be stopped. The UN Resident Coordinator had not made any adverse comments. They had only made simple remarks, but Ministry of External Affairs showed high-handedness that other agencies should not comment about what is happening here. I'm providing a link of that article also and that post also. You can see that UN Resident Coordinator had not made any comment. Nothing had been done by that coordinator. And while the reality is this, even foreigners have been raped in this country. Instead of increasing education, instead of improving gender sensitization or something like that, you are telling that others should not be speaking about certain wrong activities which have been going on. They have also given me, as I mentioned, this whole document wherein they are trying to convey to me again that I have done something wrong by calling the corrupt officers corrupt. They are trying to convey to me that I have spoiled India's image by calling corrupt officers corrupt. Perhaps they want to convey to me that I should be calling the most corrupt officers the most honest. And they have also said that they take action against sexual harassment cases seriously. So I'm going to talk about 2 other sexual harassment cases. One occurred in 2019. There was an event in 2019 in Varanasi of Prime Minister Modi. Many employees had gone there for arrangements for the event. There were many student volunteers also. One student volunteer was harassed by Ministry of External Affairs employee Tara Chand Gujar, and only one newspaper in Varanasi had reported this. There was some IPS officer who had stopped this from spreading to others, and eventually nothing happened. This case went to vigilance section. I hope that lady is going to come out and is going to speak what she faced, because if nothing like this happened, these kind of employees are going to continue to exist. The other sexual harassment case happened here in ministry only. There is a 25-year-old girl after whom another 45-year-old guy started pursuing her, and he started pursuing her to marry her, and he consistently started doing this despite her politely refusing her many times. He did not stop. Eventually what happened is that one day he entered women's bathroom behind her, after her. She went to the bathroom and he was inside there. She came out and she shouted, and this guy ran out and stood outside. This lady comes outside the bathroom and he followed her to her section also. Eventually this lady complained. After her complaint, what happened was, she also wrote that you can even check in video recordings that the proofs are there. It will be there. You can easily see that this guy had entered the washroom. But who were going to provide these recordings? Similar colleagues like his. They actually gave a reply that on this particular day, all cameras were off. And for 3 years, this case has been going on. This guy has also said in some hearing that this girl's mother and her brother were pushing him to marry her. I think you can join the dots. Why would any mother or brother push a 45-year-old guy to marry a 25-year-old lady? And by the way, this is not the only lady who has complained against this guy. There is another lady who has complained against this guy, but no action has been taken against this person. So, I hope I have informed about S. Shankar also. I feel if there is any kind of solidarity in diplomatic community on the basis of human rights, I feel S. Shankar should be banned from traveling to any country, because what I have been facing is not normal. Now I am also going to tell you about certain cases wherein I actually help people, as I had told you. So there was one accident which had happened while I was in Brazil. There was a person who used to work on a ship. He had an accident on ship and he had some severe damage on his head. Harish Baksla could not speak Portuguese, so he had actually called me and asked me to talk to the hospital. I had immediately talked to the hospital and had provided him immediate response on this, so he could talk to hospital authorities and get in touch with them. I'm going to attach the WhatsApp messages regarding that. I think everyone in India knows about Manushi Chillar. She represented India in Miss World. There was another contestant during that time from Brazil. Her name is Gabrielle Villela. She had also come to consulate for a visa to India. The day she had come, she was waiting for more than 1 hour or so in consulate, because Harish Baksla had gone outside during work time. And because this lady was waiting, I had actually talked to her for a short period of time, because she was unnecessarily waiting. She had eventually submitted her passport, and unfortunately she had forgotten to collect it back. Almost after 6 or 7 months, I had reminded her and she had collected that passport. She is also going to speak about me if need arises. Apart from this, I also assisted another person whose name is Deepak Four, whom Gayatri Gosai was harassing, because this guy had come to consulate for some consular services, and by mistake he had deposited some extra money in consulate account. So he had actually asked Miss Gayatri Gosai. Actually, he had deposited this money while I was there, but when I had submitted this note for returning his money, I remember very well, CG had refused that she is not going to sign it. When I had gone back, he had actually talked to Gayatri Gosai, he had written many mails, he had come to consulate once, and then Gayatri Gosai had told her, yes, we are going to return your money. But she told him in person that we are going to return you money, and when he goes back to his place, which is far away from Sao Paulo, she replies to him in a mail that we cannot return you money and gives a very baseless reason. So this guy had talked to me. I had assisted him when I was in consulate. So I had told him that there is no reason. I'm going to attach the mail wherein he had to give a reply, a very big reply to get his money back. Eventually his money was returned. But this is how embassy and consulate employees harass local employees. Apart from this, Harish Baksla had also harassed a Brazilian lady who had come for a simple signature because her parents had some property in Goa and they had expired, unfortunately. Harish Baksla was misbehaving with her. The recording is there. If Brazilian media picked this case up, I think this lady is going to come out because her case is very unique because her parents were from Goa and they had property here. So it's a very unique case. She can be found. It is possible that she will come out. Apart from that, Harish Baksla had also misbehaved with Deepak 4 and he had also spoken about his wife to him. This can also be confirmed from him. Apart from this, there is one more businessman against whom Harish Baksla had harassed. The name of this businessman is Manuan. I request all of you guys, if none of you are going to speak, then embassy consulate are going to continue to have employees like these and you are going to continue facing problems. Now finally, before I end this video, I want to apologize to my fiancée and I also want to apologize to her parents because my fiancée traveled the other side of the world. She got all of her things here. She came with lots of goodwill. She thought everything is going to be good. She got scared, lots of scared, because of the way things have been happening. I never expected anything like this to happen because my country likes to quote the motto Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, but the motto goes away if you complain against a corrupt civil servant. I want to sincerely apologize to her parents because their daughter came here and because of me. I know she is going to leave because of all that she has had to face. I never expected something like this to happen in India. Unfortunately, all this happened. Finally, I'm going to request Prime Minister Modi and even Rahul Gandhi that can anyone speak against corruption by civil servants, or are we simply being ruled by corrupt civil servants? I hope you are going to take some action. In case something adverse happens against me, these people from ministry would be responsible because their jobs are in danger. Their jobs should be in danger. They should technically be fired. I'm making this video in the hope that many Indians are going to see this and many people in world are also going to see this and going to condemn this. And I hope such things are not going to happen in the future. I hope they will never happen with any other Indian again. I hope my country is going to grow. I hope everything is going to get right. That's all. Thank you.